G'day, it's Rowan from Elfshot Design. In this video, I'm going to make a trolley for my coffee roaster out of old fence palings and bits of steel. It's going to have a panel that folds out on the front so I can store my green coffee beans in the side. Let's go and have a look. I want to make something handcrafted and unique, a bit rustic. So I'm making my own wheels. I'm making the wheels out of some 160mm pipe I picked up from the metal place as an offcut. It's about 3mm thick and it's going to be plenty strong enough for what I'm doing here. I'm using a 32mm flat bar for the spokes of the wheels. So I'm measuring out 32 on the pipe. The next thing I'm doing is removing the galvanised coating so the pipe is safe for welding. I'm using a hydrochloric acid, which is similar to muriatic acid, and it can be purchased at local hardware stores like Bunnings here in Australia, but it will be locked up and stored outside. This stuff's pretty serious gear, so I'm protecting my lungs and my eyes, and I'm wearing chemical grade gloves, and I'm trying not to spill it on the concrete because it'll leave dirty etch marks. This is the third video in a series of handcrafted industrial style projects in timber and steel. I'm not trying to make money from the YouTube channel, but I am testing it out to see if people are interested in what I'm making. If you're into watching these kind of films and you want to see more, it really does help if you subscribe to the channel. Every single subscriber counts and helps motivate me to keep making more films. I went with the 6-spoke pattern for the wheels. Easy math, divide up the circle with the compass. If I was making a lot of wheels, I'd build up a jig to do this, but in this case, I pretty much eyeballed it with some guidelines. Found some pipe with an inside diameter of 21.5mm. This is a little loose for the 20mm solid round bar I'm using for the axles, but it'll be fine for this project since the wheels are more ornamental than functional. If I was building fully functional wheels, I'd probably use bearings and bright steel for the axle. I measured the distance for each spoke, then averaged out the distance across the 6 readings. This worked out at 65mm, so I had to cut 24 spokes for my 4 wheels. And I'm using 32 by 3mm flat bar, which is going to be plenty strong enough for what I'm doing here. Alright, let's build a chassis for these wheels. So I've downloaded a heap of pictures to get ideas from. I kind of like how this chassis has got a bit of a shape to it rather than just being flat like this one up here. So I might try and go for something like this. No sense in drawing on my workbench. So I've started by just making this piece here, the 250mm ends, and this diagonal. I'll weld those together, and then I'll see what's needed for this piece in here, put in these struts, and then duplicate the design. The old fence palings give the trolley a rustic look, and it's a good way to recycle the materials. They do need to be run down on the thickness for a bit though, because they can range quite a lot in thickness. Since I'll be sandwiching them in place with mould steel, it helps to dress them down on one side. I like to face the dirty side out. For the finish, I like to spray the steel with a rough coat of Metal Shield matte black and then burnish the paint back off with steel wool. Terps can help speed up the process, but it's easy to use too much like I did here. But that's alright, you just go back, spray some more paint on, let it dry, and then burnish it back off. When we were forging the slots in this angle iron, I was too busy mucking around with the camera, and we let the iron start burning in the forge. I actually quite like this look though. I'm going to explore this a bit more as an intentional finish in future projects. There's no sense in running a piece of angle all the way up the inside of here just to hold these panels in. So I've cut myself some tabs and I'll just weld these all along going up the side here on the inside. That'll be enough to hold the panels in. To forge the slots for my custom latch, I went down to the local woodworking guild. Out the back they've got a coke forge and a good selection of blacksmithing tools. The master blacksmith, Steve Richardson, helped me knock some curves into the angle iron using his swage block. This is a nice way to give the trolley a little bespoke touch and make a nice custom latch that you can't buy off the shelf. So this is the rudimentary latch. Bolt comes through a couple of nuts in here, they're welded in. There's a spring in here, compression spring. It's got a lug welded on the other side of this, I'll show you soon. So when you draw this closed, the spring's pressing up against the lug and pushing the latch back in. Now it's time to weld this in place and get my guide nuts just in the right spot so the spring's going to compress, and one at the end. One of the things I wanted was for all timber other than the fence palings to be removable. This includes the plywood lid that sits on top of the trolley, as well as the top shelf and the bean storage area. Everything sits in place, and this means that if I ever want to use this as an outdoor piece, it's only the hardwood fence palings that will get wet. I applied a coat of boiled linseed oil to all the steel, as well as the top lid. The handles are made from Rio bar, and I was able to get enough heat in them with the butane torch. Not shown in the video, but the internal angle iron serves two purposes. It gives me something to weld the Rio handles onto, and also provides a platform to sit the internal shelf. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. I'd love to hear what you think about the length and the amount of detail. Please remember to support me by subscribing, and I'll probably publish the next video in about a month. Hope to see you then.